in the league, and he said, "I'm not interested." So that if Fox offered us highest paid blank in the country and we said no thanks, it's over. It's just a matter of time. And I said is that both Green Bay and Aaron have something to lose. He's an older quarterback who's been nicked up several times in the last 3 and 4 years. And that if you roll the dice on this, Aaron gets hurt, he's not attractive, the market shrinks. There's just too many good young quarterbacks out there, and the old guys are playing longer. And for Green Bay, you're not going to get nearly as much as if he's coming off another collarbone injury or another injury. And, that's why I've said I don't think it's out of the question that Green Bay, if they got off to a great start, and Denver got off to a terrible start, and Vic Fangio's there is clawing for – it'll be the last Vic Fangio head coaching job in his career, and he's begging the general manager to pull the trigger because Drew Lock isn't cutting it against Justin Herbert and Derek Carr and, Patrick Mahomes. Denver's situation is they have the fourth best quarterback in their division, and we're not even sure he's going to make it. And so Aaron's the best quarterback in his division, so I could see this at the trading deadline, and Aaron's a guy that would pick up an offense fast in Denver. It wouldn't take him forever. So, but here is, and I've said before, I don't like being trapped. I'm a fairly restless person, and this is where I sympathize with Aaron, is that he's trapped. And this is why I hate the franchise tag for quarterbacks. I think it's great for guards, weak side linebackers, tight ends, kickers. I think the franchise tag stinks for star quarterbacks. That basically he can't go anywhere. And they could franchise tag him for years. I think it's awful for quarterbacks and awful for Aaron because, like Deshaun Watson's case, if you're carrying a dysfunctional organization, and Green Bay's not dysfunctional, it's a lousy place to be in life. And you can say, oh, he's well compensated. Well, Aaron's going to be well compensated wherever he plays in this league. You want to feel like you've got an organization that's got your back, supports you, gives you the elements that can go up against the Russell Wilsons and the Bradys and the Mahomes and win. But I do think there is some leverage for Aaron here, is that Aaron's got a lot of options and a lot of interest in life. We saw the Jeopardy thing. He kind of, he travels. He's got a beautiful Hollywood fiance. Aaron's leverage is, I'm not going to a crappy team. I will retire. And Jets, if Zach Wilson busts, he's not going there. He's not going to Detroit. He's not going to Houston. He's not going to Philadelphia. So it does limit. Green Bay has got to send him somewhere. Because if I was Aaron, and I think I'm a good employee, but if I was Aaron, I would make it very clear at some point, if you start hearing trade rumors, and just say, I will retire unless this is a legitimate playoff roster or an experienced head coach. I would just come out and just say it, because that will scare all the teams off. I do think there are 5-6 teams that are pretty interesting for Aaron, and that Aaron, I think, would actually be a good fit, and it would work. The New York Giants. The defense is great. The defense is, talent-wise, I think, better than Green Bay. The Miami Dolphins, they got everything except the quarterback. What if Tua, by Thanksgiving, were like, it's not working? The New Orleans Saints, again, great GM, great coach. They go big in free agency, tremendous offensive line. The Washington football team. Ron Rivera's been to a Super Bowl. That defense is the best in their division. They've added some really nice pieces. They have added Curtis Samuel to an already pretty good wide receiving core. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they feel a little like the Packers sometimes. They're kind of burrowed into the past. But you do have a strong family, an excellent GM, a great defense. You got to upgrade the offensive line at some point because I think it's the worst Steeler offensive line in a decade. But I do think these 5 teams, the Dolphins, the Saints, Washington, Pittsburgh, Giants, Aaron would be the kind of guy that could take that roster, elevate it. It'd be great. But, the one thing where I support Aaron is star quarterbacks, and Aaron's got his issues too. He's trapped. Green Bay can trade him wherever they want. He can't go anywhere. If he holds out, he loses money. Now, Green Bay's not as good as if he holds out, but they're not going to lose money. So I do think with the Schefter news today, you've got to consider, where are the spots? What is out there? Where does he fit? And I think those are 5 or 6. Now, Daniel Jones and Tua would have to struggle this year, or at least struggle enough so the people inside the building are like, this isn't we can't get to where we want to get. I think Daniel Jones, my opinion, probably going to make it. The Giants have shown a history of being pretty patient with their quarterbacks. It took Eli Manning a long time. So I think Daniel Jones is going to make it. I don't with Tua. So the Miami one, to me, is the top of the list because you can move him to the AFC. That football team's ready to win. That football team could play for the AFC Championship up against the Buffalo or Kansas City if you gave them Aaron Rodgers. I don't doubt that for a second. I think the coach is great. The special teams are great. The defense is great. And now they've added Will Fuller to a pretty decent wide receiving core, upgraded the O-line. All right, trying to keep light this summer without compromising flavor? Well, Jersey Mike's may be the place for you. Try your favorite sub in a tub. You can elevate any sub or sub in a tub by getting the juice, red wine vinegar, olive oil blend. It's how Jersey Mike subs get their exquisite zing. How bites get boosted. A great sub becomes an even better one. Fresh.
I think people are going to start talking about that with LeBron as well, and I think that's also a waste of everyone's breath. These are the two athletes in our lifetimes that, for the most part, have been Ironmen. They take excellent care of their body. It is a part of their daily routine. You know you are what you habitually do, and they take care of themselves. Now, they've also been blessed to not have these freak accidents as well. It's a little bit of luck involved also, but if you take care of your body, you are more than likely to be healthy. Yeah. I can see him playing through it. I don't think Tom is one of those guys who's going to play it out until it's ugly. Like, he's not going to be one of those guys that we're all like...
Well, also, his brand TB12 is about preservation and life elevation, and so that would go against his brand. His brand is ageless. Tom wants to leave...
looking ageless.
That's right. It's good for his brand. So
exactly.
He didn't start this brand about 4 years ago. He really started putting time into it and building it, and this brand... doesn't feel nearly as cool if he wobbles for the last 2 years in the NFL. Looks like an old man.
Yeah, the Bucs are at the White House today, and he's up there cracking jokes.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. There you go.
Let me see.
He's right next to Bruce Arians.
God, look at that. Is that fantastic or what?
It's great. The ageless Tom Brady.
That's amazing. That makes me happy. Joy with the news.
That's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
So our lead story today was Adam Schefter reporting the Packers offered Aaron Rodgers a 2-year extension, 5 years total.